young person with guns and shooting at random with hoodies on.
This case shows a repeat offender who ignored every warning the court gave him. Despite prior convictions for assault and threats, he was again caught with firearms, even linked to reckless shooting incidents. The judge speaks firmly and with visible frustration, pointing out his constant violations and failure to learn. Instead of sympathy, the judge prioritizes public safety, stating she has no choice left. The defendant's behavior leads directly to a strict 5-year prison sentence.
So, Mr. Turner, you were just revoked back in October of 2021 and received a state jail sentence. Whose court was that in? Was that here?
Yes, ma'am.
So I know then for certain that I read to you those written admonishments about not possessing a firearm, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have a prior terroristic threat, you have a prior assault causing bodily injury, and you're walking around with some other young person with guns and shooting at random with hoodies on. I mean, then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the last month and a half, 6 incident reports from the jail where you cannot follow the instructions. At this time, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. Find sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and at this time find you guilty of unlawful possession of a firearm by felon. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 5 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I'm going to hand you the trial court certification that shows that this was an plea agreement that I followed, and so you've waived your right to appeal. Understand that you're fairly young, but you've been given some opportunities already, and obviously you're out there doing some things that could lead you to be in here for something much worse, where you've actually shot someone. It's just not, the running around with guns and shooting has got to stop, and all I can think of is the longer I can keep you away from society, probably the better at this point, because you can't learn. You haven't been able to learn from your past mistakes. I hope that you do, and I hope that you do this time and you get out and you change your life. But you're going to have to make those changes. There's help for you out there wherever you need it. There's help in TDC if you need it. But I don't feel like I have a choice today. I'm also handing you, just like I did before a couple of years ago, the written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. I'm required to read this to you again. You should pay attention. Because of the judgment entered against you, you are ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. Firearm is a legal term. You should read the written admonishment I provide you to see what devices qualify as a firearm. If you have questions about the laws that make you ineligible to possess a firearm or ammunition, or about how long that lasts, you can talk to Ms. Holmes. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can go back with the bailiff. I feel like I've seen this. You haven't maybe one of the co-defendants that I did something on. This is very familiar to me.
Unfortunately, it's a pretty common fact pattern. It's 4 people riding around the car at 12:30 in the morning. There's 3 guns in the car.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'll just so the court's aware, the driver, Mr. Joseph Matthews,
Mm-hmm.
who was charged with felon possession of a firearm for the firearm that's in the glove box of the car.
Mm-hmm.
He was on parole after taking a plea deal for the offense of tampering with evidence for his involvement in a homicide. Mr. Dorsey, who fought with the police once they discovered a firearm in his waistband, is also a multiple-time felon. And then Mr. Sam has been convicted out of Harris County as a felon, as well as being on probation out of this court, Your Honor. So there was 3 guns in the car with these 4 people driving around. In
a deferred probation motion to revoke a deferred probation, they're typically, you're entitled to a bond, but there is a provision that allows me not to. I think it's just based on the evidence, which is what I'll do. And if there's any other issues, we'll do it that way.
Judge Lewis, can I say so?
Probably shouldn't. Mr. Sam, I'm going to deny your attorney's motion to set a bond in cause number 22-41263, based on the nature of the underlying offense that you're on probation for, which is a robbery where you were allowed to plead to the lesser included in that case for a probation, and the fact that you have numerous violations, and one of those being a felon in possession of a firearm. Because you also have, it looks like there's a felony conviction that you have out of Harris County. So the fact that you had that conviction and got the probation already was, anyway.
That was essentially, I'll just let the court know that he was being held, he had a hold for that case.
All kind of at
while
the
we
same
handled the
time.
robbery here, Your Honor. I think he was transported back to Harris County after he pled on this case.
And got convicted in that case.
I believe so, Your Honor. I believe it is a final conviction.
Okay. And so based on the nature of the underlying facts that are alleged in that new offense, the fact that it is alleged that you were in a vehicle with several other people with at least 3 guns, other ones that are on parole and convicted felons as well. Obviously, all of that's a violation of your probation, I think, in the interest of the safety of our community. And based on all of the factors set forth in 17.15, I am going to deny that bail be set in this case. If you will get that other case fast tracked if possible, so that it can get go through the grand jury process. If something happens and that case is not indicted, then I will reconsider at that point. Mr. Rojas, I would allow you to file another motion and I would reconsider that. And then once that case goes through that process, if it is indicted, then I want to move as quickly as we can. If there's going to be a plea of not guilty in that case, and then it would probably be my desire to go forward on that motion first if we need to. All right, we'll take care of that the next court date. You can go back with the bailiff.
Another reminder that the court keeps track of patterns, not just isolated mistakes. When someone repeatedly ignores warnings, the consequences escalate fast. What do you think, was this sentence justified based on his history? If this gave you insight into how judges make these decisions, like the video and share it with someone who should see it. Subscribe for more real courtroom moments and breakdowns.